I am so glad to be with you again today, and I think you all know that I'm a pastor at Sunshine Acres Children's Home, and we have kids from 4 to all the way up to 18 years of age, and then we've even got a transitional program for kids who will go on to go to college and they can still stay on campus. So it's on 109 acres, it's a big place, and I work with a lot of kids. In ukulele, I'm working with about 15 kids, maybe more, that are taking ukulele, and it's a fun instrument. And so I would love to have them come and play and do some solos. In fact, I'm doing some video clips over the next few weeks of these kids. But currently, because of the pandemic, and we are not allowed to, I'm not allowed to go out and spend time with these kids, even though they're on the campus, just trying to keep everybody safe. And that'll be ending hopefully shortly. So I do communicate with the kids, and we're doing our services, we're recording them, and we do a lot of talking, through Skype and all that kind of internet and such, but it's not the same as being with them. And so we're doing these ukulele lessons online, but they're really for everybody. I just want to take a moment to tell you that playing an instrument is just powerful. Not just a ukulele, it can be any instrument, piano, guitar, brass instrument, woodwind instrument. You are so far above the average person. As far as when you decide to play an instrument, most people don't learn to play instruments. They all love music. In fact, most people like music. They'll listen to country, western, or rock, or easy music, classical, but they themselves don't play an instrument, and many feel it's beyond their reach. So if you're learning to play ukulele, you have just gone past what I would call the average person who has chosen not to learn an instrument and feel maybe that's something they can never do. I just want to tell you right now, there are so many benefits to playing instrument. Let me just tell you first of all that this is for you. When you play an instrument, it's really about you. You may not become the world's best ukulele player or violinist or piano, but music enriches you. I like to use sometimes an illustration. I don't know if you can see what this is, but this is a Barbie doll. And this here is the Ken doll. Now, when I grew up, a lot of the girls would come to school, they would all get together and they'd be bringing their Barbie dolls and changing outfits, and it was a big deal. Now, boys, we had G.I. Joes, which technically probably were dolls as well, because we dressed them. But what was interesting is the two dolls, which became famous, Barbie and Ken. And I don't think this is Ken. I think he was actually booted out, and this is someone else, but who knows. But the point being is you dress them. And I told a group of kids one time, I said, you realize that you are living Barbie dolls because you let other people tell you what's cool to wear, what's not cool to wear, what's cool to do and what's not cool to do. There are so many young people and adults who make tragic decisions because they listen to someone telling them, you need to do this, you need to do that. Oh, it's not cool to do good in math or in some grade, you don't want to be a nerd. There are kids who are amazing in their abilities, but they'll never realize them because they let someone else dress them. They let someone else tell them what they need to do and how they need to do it. I remember there was a kid that was really cool when I was growing up in school, and literally, if he wore a red sock and a white sock to school, within the end of the week, most of the boys would be wearing a red and a white sock. They just would follow this guy, follow the leader. I would like to say he went on to become this amazing kid, but that was not the case. Did not. But we find ourselves not even knowing what we enjoy because we want other people to like us so bad. And we're afraid they'll make fun of us. So when you play an instrument, there's a lot of kids who'll say, oh, that's silly, you shouldn't play an instrument. And your answer has to be, I'm doing it because I like playing an instrument. It's all about me. And I don't care whether you like it or not. Go listen to the radio or to your CD or iPod or whatever you're using. But I like to actually do it. Now, it's fun to play football. I like to watch it, but when I was young, I'd rather play a game with my friends than watch a Super Bowl. I don't want to always be a spectator. And so I'm going to encourage you. God's given you some amazing creative gifts, abilities. I've met kids, when I've asked them what their favorite color is, they honestly don't know, because you know what their favorite color is? Whatever someone else says is the favorite color. And they'll wear any style of shoe or any style of clothes or any color, whether they like it or not, because it's the cool thing to do. Can I tell you that the people who become successful and the ones you hear about, they're usually people who are able to, they're trailblazers. They know what they want. It may be different, it may be unique, it may be something no one else is doing, but they end up changing cultures. And when they're Christians, oh my gosh, they end up becoming missionaries that reach the world and start programs and outreaches that touch people in all walks of life because they broke the mold. So when you play an instrument, it's powerful. You know, music training actually proven now helps develop languages and reasoning. People with early musical training develop the areas of the brain related to learning languages and reasoning. A mastery of memorization. And even when performing sheet music, student musicians are constantly using their memory to perform. Students learn to improve their work. Learning music promotes craftsmanship. And students want to create good work instead of mediocre work. Increased coordination. I'll tell you what, when you start playing the ukulele or any instrument with your fingers, they're not going to want to do what you're telling them to do. It looks easy to play a chord, but it takes practice because you have to develop your coordination. And so you develop your hand-eye coordination, your motor skills while playing music. And there's a sense of achievement. Learning to play a piece of music on a new instrument, it's challenging, but it's also a sense of achievement. Kids stay engaged in school. We found at Sunshine Acres that kids that were in band and choir, particularly band and choir, all graduated. As long as they were staying here at the Acres, they went on to complete high school. Gives you a sense of a achievement. You've done something. And success in society. Did you know that? Music is the fabric of our society. Think about it. You go to your work music, you're at school listening to music. Every TV program you watch has music in the background. It's the fabric of our society, so it helps you stay engaged in so many areas. Emotional development, music soothes the soul. They always say soothes the savage beast. It does. Music is a very calming and relaxing thing, and sometimes just playing on an instrument can be wonderful. So it's a great emotional development for you and builds up your self-esteem. Students learn pattern recognition, and they can develop math better. Did you know that? Become a better mathematician just by playing an instrument. Music builds imagination and curiosity. These are all facts that have come out on those who have studied the effects of music on people. Creates your imagination. In fact, and I didn't know this, that students who experience with music performance or appreciation score higher on the SAT. One report indicates 63 points higher on verbal and 44 points higher on math. So better at school. Just amazing. It's, like I said, it's relaxing and relieves stress. It can teach discipline because you have to make yourself practice, and to be good at anything, you have to have discipline. And creative thinking, building. Some of you end up writing music, and it helps you in other areas, and learning discipline. And I love kids can learn teamwork, because usually when you're doing music, you end up playing with other people. And confidence. You're singing in front of people. You're singing to your friends. Even singing out loud to yourself is building up confidence. And it's risk-taking because it's difficult sometimes to get up in front of people. Playing an instrument develops that area. If you're going to be successful, you got to take risks. And learning to sing and play and do this is a bit of a risk. And it's certainly going to build up your self-confidence. So I'm just telling you, instead of being just a Barbie doll, there are other things. I look at this and I'm thinking, what about this? You see, she's got the soccer ball, or I like this Barbie. By the way, I don't play with dolls, but I do think it illustrates a point. And here is an all-star Barbie playing basketball, being a musician. And don't let other people dress you up. Be what God's called you to be. Now we're going to learn a couple chords today. One, you've already learned the C chord, and here is the C chord. Remember, you take your ring finger, it's after the second fret before the third. And remember, you're playing the G, and then the C, then the E and the A string. And so that's our C chord. You already got that. C7, remember, is the first before the first fret. Still same string. Now here's the problem. If you try to take your, say, your index finger and play the C chord and then play the C7, you can. The problem is the fingers are designed to play certain strings, so you can move rapidly from one chord to another. So, for instance, if I'm playing a G with my ring finger, all I have to do is take two fingers there we are. Train heading down the tracks. So it's like the old game of Twister I used to play as a kid. You'd take your foot would go on a green, and then you'd spin a dial, and someone else would have their foot on a red and your hand on it. And pretty soon, if you had 4 people playing, and I remember as a kid, you'd all end up falling on the floor. You'd get all tangled up. Well, that's what happens, literally, if you don't use the right fingers. You cannot go back and forth, because the way these chords are designed, it's kind of like the typewriter. You can peck and type fairly good if you just kind of like look and peck. But there is an order to where your fingers go so you can type efficiently and fast. So if you decide to do your own style of typing, you're going to be slow. And with playing this, you want to be able to go to all your different chords very quickly so you can go back and forth and have fun with it. So you want to stick to the fingers. So this is going to be a ring finger. This is going to be your index finger. We're going to go to an F. And F is going to be right here. It's going to be, again, right before the first fret, second string, and then the 4th string. So you're going to use your index finger, and then you're going to use your second. There's your F. And look at how easy it is to go to a C. These are carbon strings. This is a brand new, I think I mentioned to you, an incredible piece. Found it on Amazon, brand new. I've played units that are hundreds of dollars, and this is like $60, and it is absolutely amazing sound. Now, it's, again, tenor, longer neck, bigger body, and the concert, smaller neck, smaller body. So it's your choice. If you're larger, if you're a teenager, you probably want to go with the tenor. But it's strictly a matter of preference. You can play the concert just as well. Now we've got the G chord. Again, the G chord here is an inverted pyramid. Look at that. You got your 2 fingers, I always call them like snake fangs, 2 fingers on right before your 2nd fret, and there's a string that you don't touch in between them. So you put your 2 fingers together with the string in between, and then you come down with your ring finger right in front of it. So if you can see the G there we have the G. Can you see that? Again, you take 1, 2. Looks like I always say it's like a little snake bite there. You see this 2 teeth, 2 fang, and then this finger comes down in the middle, and you got your G. And then the pyramid would be the G7. And again, it's like the little snake bite, but this time we've reversed it. The index finger comes down on the 2nd string before the 1st fret, and then you've got your ring finger, and then your 2nd finger. But look at how quick you can go back between the 2. So you can go. So you want to be able to switch. So you want to work on that. So there's your G, again, G, and then G7. And then your C. Now, those are the chords we've learned. Again, C7, again, it's just 1 string that, and remember, we go back to the ring. So what I really want to emphasize is always use the right string with the right finger with the right string, so you can learn properly. Now, strumming, we do a simple strum. Right now, it can be this just once. Now, you can strike it with your fingernails, or you can do it with your thumb. Just a downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, if you want, you can use the back side of your nails, up, down, up, down. Now it's going to sound different because you got a hard sound with your nails. Then the soft side of your fingertips coming back. Or you can vary it. Or you can take your thumb and just use one finger and then one finger like this. Thumb, one finger, index finger. Or you can pluck them a few at a time. So you can have a lot of fun. So I'm going to play a little relay with you very quickly as we end this, and you can practice this over and over. Remember, I'm going to yell out a chord, not yell it actually, but we're going to give a chord, and we'll do 4 beats, and I'll give you another chord and see if you can't kind of switch in that time period. And if you're late, that's fine. You can keep practicing. So it'll be like this. We're going to start with a G, and then I'll give you another chord. I won't tell you in advance, and just a second in advance, but you'll have to wait and hear me and then go as quickly as you can. Here we go. We will start with the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. F. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. 2, 3, 4. C7. F, 2, 3, 4, G, G7, C, F, C. Now let's see how fast you can go back between C and F. Imagine a train going down the track. We'll do it real slow. F. Then you can go back and forth, if I can. It's kind of fun. And so we go C, go to C7, to an F, to a G, to a G7, back to a C, back to an F, back to a G, back to a C. It's not hard. And you can have fun playing. There's so many things. And one more thing. Now that you've learned 3 chords, you can play so many songs. Now, a lot of songs just have 2 chords. Like, remember the old one? Row, 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 row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. G. Life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Or another one is rejoice in the Lord. See, rejoice in the Lord always. And again I say rejoice. Again, rejoice in the Lord always. And again I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice. And again I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice. And again I say rejoice. Just G, or C, G, C, G, C. So both row, row, row your boat and rejoice, Lord, always. 2 chords. A little bit difficult, or a little bit more difficult, but fun to do, is one that you can sing for your younger brother or sister. And that's Jesus Loves Me. Jesus, let's go. Jesus loves me, this I know. Got that? For the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. fun. That's what music's all about. If you enjoy it, then it's valuable and it's something you can do. And don't let anyone take that from you. In fact, you find people actually love to hear other people play instruments, and you'll probably encourage them. And certainly maybe you'll inspire them to want to do something more than they're doing and learn an instrument. God bless you. You have a great week, and we'll have some more lessons on for you. We're going to work on strumming, a couple more chords. Pretty soon you'll be pretty good, and you'll surpass what I can do for sure. You have a great week. Thank you.